Hey everyone, welcome to today's general spread. Excuse me, today will just be a general spread. I feel like I've done enough yapping, enough talking about what the energies are, and wow, the way that these cards are falling out is incredible. I've done enough talking about intuitive yapping about the energies, how we can handle them. I will link the most recent intuitive channeling. I think counts for something. Wow. And gosh, this is crazy. Hold on a second. Okay. All right, let's just deal with that. Wow, guys, this is a very interesting deck that just fell out. Very, very annoying energy, honestly. It's the union thing. So be prepared for that. If romance, relationship, or kind of like, I guess, a focus on love, harmony within. If none of that is your focus, then this is not a reading for you. It's what's supposed to be collective, but it's feeling very, it's feeling collective in the sense that there's a lot of unions that are, again, I feel like a broken record with this, but there are a lot of unions, guys, that are supposed to be happening right now. There are a lot of supposed to be happening, but they are not happening because there's still some karmic load to unpack individually with each person between them. I don't know. Such a fascinating energy to feel into, especially because I feel as though I'm reading for a collective of people who are so tired of hearing that rhetoric. You're likely single, and again, by now you should know whether or not you are the type of person who really values romantic connection, romance, all that shit. So much so that it's part of the desires that you have in this life. You know what I mean? I am one of them, being a tropical and sidereal Libra North Node. Relationship and connection is very, 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 very important to me. It's my whole thing. And I've said this before. So getting right to the cards that fell out, you first had the Devil, which is quite the opening card and is very important, I think, for the time that I'm reading this, because of how much work is being done energetically for us collectively, or how much work we are doing collectively at this time, working through this beast. I'm recording this December 2025. The energy is intense, brain fog, exhaustion, fallouts, deaths, breakups, like whatever drama you can think of. It feels like, honestly, it feels like a very extended, like zoomed in version of a Mercury retrograde, in my opinion. It's such chaotic energy, but it's also, as I've been saying, very dynamic, very important for working through this shit. This also, in this deck, I want to point out, isn't technically a bad card. I really appreciate how Silla Conway mentions the work of working through this energy, overcoming it and facing the darkness within you and like making peace with it. You know, that's also what this card indicates. So that might be something that you're going through, but then you got Justice in reverse and the Emperor and the Empress in reverse, which I tested whether or not it should be upright. And it did give something along those lines. However, I felt it needed to be addressed first, that it fell out in reverse. But again, with the presence of these two cards on their own, reversed or upright, this is giving two people karmically separated from each other. Hi, Lisa. Two people who are separated from each other due to a karmic load that needs to be addressed by either one or both of them. With this card, both of them in reverse, it is giving that both of them are doing lots of karmic shit right now. So whether you are male or female, masculine or feminine, know that your counterpart is doing, they are doing the same, they're doing work in the same way you are. The energetic work you're processing, the energetic load you're doing, the daily self-inquiry, meditation, the ritual, spiritual, wada, you know what you're doing to keep your spirit in check. Whatever you're doing, know that your divine counterpart is doing the exact same thing, and you guys are going to meet each other at the perfect time. The perfect time. In the meantime, though, While this is giving union, I would like to deal with the individual in the union. So it's like I'm giving like it's like I'm giving a couple's reading, but I'm reading for one person in the couple. But this energy addresses the couple, or rather it addresses the potential union between the two of you. So I'm going to talk about and explore what these cards are saying, but I feel called to emphasize or remind you that somewhere out there, your mirror is doing that person you've been praying for, they're doing the exact same thing. It just feels important to mention. Just for you, in case, maybe if you've lost hope, because I've been yapping on and tapping into the union energy that's available for us, but my God, it's taken some time, right? These relationships and these divine unions, this love, these dreams, promise, they're taking quite a while to settle in. Trust they're coming though. I feel called to explore justice in reverse. It speaks of injustice, surrender to expediency, twisting truth to influence others, muddled thinking leading to errors of judgment. Denial, bias, prejudice, discrimination, legal battle, strict upholding of the law when real justice lies elsewhere, lies, deception to pervert the course of justice. Okay. Now I'm going to get into the specifics. Man, I'm feeling into someone. Two people are meant to be together, but each of them, actually, these two cards in reverse, each of them they have a complete lack of faith in changing course. This feels incredibly specific. Here I go. Someone is caught up in something. Two people are meant to be together. One or both of them are caught up in something, a way of being, a way of thinking, something that's misaligned with them. And this misalignment is now projecting into every part of their life, including whether or not they believe that their connection with you is real, or whether or not you believe that your connection with them is real. There seems to be a fogging of some sort between two people who are meant to be together, but aren't, because someone is lying to themselves, the other person is lying to themselves, or is lying to the other person. They're just lies. There's a denial of truth. There's a denial of facing the truth about the way you truly feel. I'm also getting an internal misalignment between the masculine and feminine energies. So somebody who overexerts themselves energetically and they're always burnt out, or somebody who is over empathic, over nurturing, a narcissist. I'm getting the extremes of the feminine masculine spectrum. Beneath the deck, you have the Queen of Discs and the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords to me is the operative energy here. It's a very much wait and pause. Clearly, the answers are not clear. And there's still more to be revealed. And the best course of action. This is a very central energy for me anytime it appears in a reading. Because of how gravitational it is to sit and meditate and wait and be patient and be still. I was thinking of sharing a thought today that I'm just remembering now I thought to share. The idea of how being still allows you to see so much. You notice so many patterns and things if you just observe and wait a bit. I'm also getting a sense of impatience, an extreme forcefulness. And then I'm also getting a kind of despondency, like a hopelessness, or like a release of will. Like, okay, revisiting these two people who are meant to be together but aren't. One person is over nurturing, over empathic, way soft, way soft. Okay, one or both people, sorry. Now I'm uniting the two energies here. Somebody is so soft in the heart and so afraid and so in denial of their influence on the other person, or the influence on the influence they have over starting a connection, that they're just not doing anything, which is fine because clearly the timing isn't right. These two people getting together and these two cards coming upright is a matter of timing that you need to surrender to, that hopefully your counterpart is also surrendering to. But the presence of 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards as the opening of a reading, that is to me a karmic clearance. That is Akashic records at play. Like, clearly, whatever time you are in your life, regardless of whether or not by now you resonate with the idea of a divine counterpart or whatever, you're in a period of cleaning. And a lot of what happens right now, from whenever it is that you watch this reading, is destined in a way to clean up, to like clear things out. This is also giving, that cleaning up action is also giving with the presence of the Queen of Discs, and how, from how I perceive her energy, she really values the aesthetic side of things and the finer luxury experiences. She values quality over quantity. And that seems to be the case with whatever work is being done energetically for you, and possibly between like a relationship, a potential relationship. I'm also feeling called to let you know that if you are single, again, highly likely you are, if you're still here in this reading, then I'd like to really like soften the part of you that might be hardened to the possibility that there is love coming for you. There is 100%, and it will come quicker than you know. That part specifically I felt called to say. But there's still so much energetic work happening right now. And it also just seems like if this relationship were to start right now, like if this incoming love were to come in for you right now, it'd be so like tainted. You know what I mean? It would be like this would be the two of you at the feet of the devil. And that's not what anyone wants. We have to be done with these karmic loops, these karmic relationships, these narcissistic connections. Like, we don't need that anymore. We don't have to learn about ourselves through this kind of thing, through narcissistic abuse, or through overgiving ourselves and not knowing where, not respecting our own boundaries and not being respectful of our own energy wells. Like, we don't have to keep doing that, you know? Yeah, Lisa, yes, exactly. I also saw someone else doing the same thing. They were reorganizing their wardrobe or something like that. It's interesting how everyone is it's like everyone's in their nesting phase, pregnancy, when you want to just clean everything and redo everything. It's like everybody's doing that. And actually, come to think of it, that may very well be something that we're in right now, just collectively. Considering that we're all really there's a clean slate thing happening right now. Everything that's been in the shadow or in the shits, it's being dealt with, being brought all the way up. I feel called to read the interpretation of the devil. And then maybe shuffle one more for like a closing energy. Or like a way forward or something, I don't know. But also, I think with the Four of Swords, a way forward is clear enough. Just for interest's sake, a closing card. This card speaks of skewed attitudes and perceptions, expediency. Again, okay, that word is important. I'll look into that. Lack of integrity, justification and denial, major shadow issues, perversion, greed, envy, deceit that need to be owned, not denied. That's my favorite sentence, and a very important, very, very important part of successful shadow work is being able to accept your shadows and not try to deny them. Old entrenched patterns, especially those involving anger, fear, or sexuality, enslavement to material things. Okay, there's also that too. I'm feeling into somebody who's resistant into starting a relationship or is denying a connection with someone because of how, this is so specific. Okay, if this is for you, it's for you. Because of how they feel they can't afford you. Or maybe you feel you can't afford someone. Yeah. I don't know what more to do with that. If that's you, then yeah, you work through that. I don't know what to actually, with the Queen of Discs. Okay, now it's coming alive. If I'm reading for a feminine, okay, for the feminines, the girls, your divine counterpart is like chilling in the sidelines and is really afraid of approaching you because you are a quality over quantity kind of gal. And it's clear in your demeanor and the way that you speak and the way that you are. And it makes your divine counterpart very nervous. And they feel like they need to have their shit together before approaching you. And in the meantime, you can just enjoy your peace. This card also speaks of reserving your energy levels so that you can prepare for the next phase of your life. And that theme is also coming up again, the nesting. I feel called to find the definition of expediency because that word appearing twice feels extremely central, necessary, obvious, like, look at me. The quality of being convenient and practical, despite possibly being improper or immoral. Convenience. Quality over quantity. Quality versus quantity. OMG. Another specific one. Someone is in a relationship, your divine counterpart. They're currently in a relationship. And their relationship is very much this. The relationship that they're in right now, it's this. And also puts them in this state. Either someone is in a relationship with an individual or they're in a relationship with a habit, but there's a lot of karma going on here. It's extremely karmic, their involvement with this habit or with this person. And because of the nature of the karmic nature of it, it's so difficult. I'm sure everybody tuning into my shit knows it's so hard to face and overcome this guy. This devil, all of its shadows, your own darkness, it is so hard. And your divine counterpart is fighting for their damn life. They're in a relationship and they're awakening bit by bit, day by day, and they have to do it in bits, right? They can't just awaken overnight. Can you imagine how painful it is, Shame, for your divine counterpart, who you love so deeply, right? How painful it would be to have them revealed overnight how much cuck they're in by being in this karmic relationship, by how much they've lied to themselves and others. Like somebody has a lot of shit to clean up, lots. And they have so much shit that it has to take time. It's going to take divine intervention. This whole thing actually, these cards together is giving the wheel in reverse. It's giving somebody who really tried to deny a sense, like a calling or a ringing intuition inside of them about how things should be. It's giving someone in total denial about who their divine counterpart is. They know exactly who it is that is meant to be for them. They know who makes them feel good. They know who brings up divine experience. They know who's for them. And they know that what they're facing right now in their lives, in their relationship, in their habits is not for them. And they're working through and facing the work it's going to have to take to get themselves ready for you. That is so romantic. This is deeply spiritual. This is someone really doing the spiritual work and cleaning their shit up so that they could be with you because they understand the weight of that. This is essentially how they see you. She is very beautiful. To my understanding, if I perceive this correctly of this deck, she's the only queen who's wearing makeup with the shadow and the lipstick and the lashes. She's the only queen who is like fully adorned. Like you couldn't even tell where her body is. It's just her and the visual of her royalty, you know? So that's again, I think a signal for how this person could feel about you. They think you're so beautiful and royal and regal. They really don't want to fuck with you. They really don't want to waste your fucking time. And if they approached you now, it would be a waste of fucking time. I'm also receiving that frequency specifically, that a lot of people who are single right now but are yearning for a relationship, you need to understand that that's on purpose. The yearning is a teacher, but specifically as well, the fact that you're single, like, you are an extremely powerful and potent energy. I'm sure I've said this before. And as a potent energy, you would probably, that energy would probably be wasted or distracted or suppressed or controlled unnecessarily somehow if it were in a relationship. Your singleness, your singlehood is very important for your ascension process. Keep focusing on yourself, regardless of whatever you've taken. If you're sitting this far, what I can tell you is to keep focusing on yourself. Keep doing some inquiry on your shadows, on your what you perceive as your imperfections, until you eventually find that you are always perfect. You know what I mean? Keep doing your work. Keep your head down. Keep focused. Yeah. Let the story play out. Let the story play out. I'm receiving ring, 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 that story of how somebody who knows that they're the one for you and you're the one for them, they are playing, they are what? They're choosing convenience, and they know they're being silly about it. They know that you're the one for them. But they are too scared to face it because of what it would mean once you face that. Because once they face the fact that you're the one for them, once they face the knowing that you two belong together, they're going to have to flip their whole fucking life. Oh my God, dude. I'm getting the feeling of like somebody leaving someone at the altar, you know, like there were plans. Like this person had plans with the person that they're in a relationship with right now. But then they met you, thought about you, realized you. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but yeah. Now they're like, oh my God. Yeah, it's a crazy feeling. It's a crazy feeling. Very similar to, I mean, I'm sure we all have walked it in our spiritual journey where you're so sure you're doing a thing and you know you're so sure you're doing it in a way that suits, in a way that's true to you, but then you have a really crazy awakening. The devil is also a card of awakening to me. It's an awakening experience facing this beast. And you realize that shit, you've actually been chained to this guy the whole time. You thought you were following something true within you, but you were just lying to yourself. Very difficult to face how much you've been lying to yourself. So yeah, be patient. There's a lot of corrective work that has to happen with this divine union that's like pending. And please, I'm getting the sense of like you meeting your divine counterpart, finally coming to meet them. And then you guys hang out and they share their experience of what October, very random, what October, November, December was for them. I'm getting that maybe the last intense face-to-face connective moment you're able to have with this person, random. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. But the last time you were able to really connect with this person was October. And then they started to go MIA. Whenever it is that you guys do unite again, I'm getting Jan. I'm getting Jan. Yeah, no, I'm getting Jan. Also, again, I'm just fucking here, just saying shit. Who knows if this is the truth? I don't know. This is just shit I'm feeling. they're going to share experiences with you, and you're going to really understand why it is that they went missing during that time, or you're going to understand why it took so long for this connection to come into fruition. You're going to understand why the universe was like working with timing in order to get you guys to connect. You really are preserving your energies here. There's a lot of really crazy work at play, and I hope that you can still stay hopeful. Like, I feel really, really adamant about reminding you to stay hopeful in the fact that there is like your perfect one, your one, regardless of how you do relationships, whether or not you're polyamorous, monogamous, whatever, you're one. There's someone for you, perfect person for you. They're out there and they're doing so much work to get their shit together in order to be with you. And there's a lot of shit that they need to get together right now, spiritually. And really, like, really on a very tight rope. Yo, I'm getting a master manipulator, man. Somebody who's very good at manipulating people and like was having fun with it and then went way too far, and now they have to really clear their shit because because it's gotten too far and it's getting in the way of them being able to live their lives and be with you. Let's see what card is. Very funny energy to read into for me because of the lies part. Like, yeah, now is really not the time. Oh, too many cards, girl. Too many. I did see the moon, though. And we are approaching a full moon or a new moon. I'm not, no. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know when I think the next moon phase is on the 3rd of Jan. Early Jan, and I'm recording this late December. Interesting. All right. So I earlier on when I picked up the Queen of Discs and the Four of Swords, the 10 of Discs and the Knight of Rods were beneath the deck, and they remain beneath the deck, interestingly enough. And the cards around it shuffled around, but these two cards, in the sequence that they stayed. So I feel like this is very, very important. Then you have the Magician, the 8 of Discs, the Queen of Rods, and the 6 of Swords. Queen of Rods and 6 of Swords, I think, appeared in a previous reading, in the one I did before this one. That spoke, again, of this energy of two people who are meant to be together, but who are doing a lot of spiritual work in order to get there. I'm also, like, very naturally, I'd like to also remind you that you and your divine counterpart are really the definition of power couple. Energetically, spiritually powerful couple, which is obviously going to reflect materially once you get that down. Once you unite and you get your story straight, Anyway, looking at the Magician and the 8 of Discs, I'm getting that a way forward would be to tend to yourself. Focus on and tend to yourself. Both of these cards speak of tending to your heart, man. Tending to your soft spots. I'm getting now that maybe you have been craving divine relationship, divine union. It's been taking for fucking ever, and you are in this deep state of yearning. It's leaving you very, very yearny. Maybe very lonely, feelings of loneliness, I relate. So what I can say is find something you like to do and keep doing it. Keep at it. For me, like I said, I really relate to this frequency, and what I love is doing tarot and all this YouTube stuff. So I just keep doing that, keep focused on that. I do 4 of Swords meditate every day, massage my womb and tend to my womb every day. I try to really tap into my feminine, I massage my hands and my face as well. I make it a ritual. Maybe that might be something that works for you. This card also speaks of enjoying your work. So I would say that enjoy the influence you have over your energy. Enjoy your singlehood in how you are able to be and just by yourself. You know what I mean? Because when you are in divine union, you obviously become merged with someone you're in relationship with, and then it starts to get really difficult to stay regulated if your partner isn't regulated. You understand? Or if your partner isn't near you, or if your partner isn't in a good mood, it affects your mood. So while that yes, that is a very noble and wonderful part of being in a relationship, but it is also a very taxing part of being in a relationship, right? It does take its toll on you energetically. So while you are in your sovereignty and in your being aloneness, enjoy that and keep focusing on your own energy work. Keep focusing on connecting to your intuition. This is another major arcana card coming out wonderfully, and it's a very positive one. These two together like this gives the sense of like an alchemist. Yeah. Somebody who like, I'm getting you getting a lot better at facing shitty situations. A lot better. Like so much better at going through nonsense. Thank you, Lisa. New moon tonight. Yes. And we are in the solstice as well. Happy solstice. Happy New Year. Yeah. Yeah. Someone who's really good at doing shadow work. I'm getting a complete rerouting of like a depressive mood, depressive states. If you're somebody who goes through that, mental dips, then I'm getting a conquering of that. Not to say that your mental dips will stop, but you're getting so much better at staying hopeful. I'm also getting the sense of healing a generational curse, which is brilliant. What a relief. You know, if you're somebody who has had specific desires to not be like your parents or to not continue whatever painful cycle your parents or your predecessors have been through, you've definitely stopped that. If you've ever identified with being the black sheep or the generational curse breaker, this is confirmation of that. And I suppose as well a thank you for your work, because yeah, it's not an easy job. I'm also getting the firstborn daughter, the firstborn daughter of color in particular, firstborn African daughter, firstborn Asian daughter, you know, all of that stuff. Or the eldest, the top two oldest. Yeah. I'm getting the universe intently reminding you to stay hopeful. Please stay hopeful. If by chance this seems too daunting of a task for you right now, doing the shadow work is too intense, the sadness is too much, the exhaustion is too much, if it's just feeling too much in your body, please just keep going. Light a candle and pray for empowerment in particular. Speak empowerment over yourself in front of that candle. Really. Work with water as well. I'm receiving... Well, actually, no, sorry. Now I'm receiving to work with breath. Sorry, not water. Breath and meditation. Yes, breath and meditation. Find a breath work video on YouTube and follow it to help process this. I'm also receiving that yoga, somatic work could be helpful in processing this. But I'm also getting that you already know what works for you. So just keep at it. Please. Please. It's almost over. You are almost at the end of some bullshit. If you're not already at the end of it, you are almost at the end of it, regardless of when you are watching this. Timeless intention. Some bullshit you've been working through. You are almost there. Keep going. Keep going. The scales will balance. And you're going to balance them by magic, by hope, by your work of faith, by your willingness to face yourself and be honest about it. Be real about all of your shit right now, man. Be real about the yearning as well, and face the yearning or affirm it with the knowing, that whole understanding of remembering that you're not alone. Whenever you feel lonely, okay, sorry, let me personalize it. Whenever I feel lonely, lately, it helps to remedy that with the understanding that I'm not alone. gosh, yeah, that I'm divinely surrounded at all times by my angels. Even if I don't feel it, just affirming it repeatedly in my head over and over again helps. It helps. It's helpful. So it might be helpful for you too. I'm also receiving, get a DIY project for yourself. Knitting might be helpful or fun for you to do. Tufting, is that what it's called? Writing, creating, journaling. Getting creative, though, I think may be helpful to remedy this card in reverse, the Empress in reverse. Do something creative. If you're interested at all, try making clothes for yourself. That's a random channeling. Make an outfit for yourself, a shirt or a skirt, decorate, paint it or something. I don't know. These are all remedies. Now I'm trying to get practical, dealing with all of this because this is dealing with this in particular, with these two cards. And also be honest with yourself. Oh my God. I know I read for somebody who is like clearing out some bullshit, karma, whatever, lies, deception, whatever. Regardless of who I'm reading for, please be honest with yourself. Please try to be honest about your feelings. I'm getting the frequency of somebody who swings between extremes and is feeling very, very, very vulnerable right now. I feel for all involved. Not the greatest place to be in karmically, but you can trust that the work is being done. The work is being done. I'm also getting, this card is also for me a card of ancestral presence and ancestral connection. Yeah. I'm also receiving that you should take time to appreciate how much work you've done. Very random. And that's it. That is actually it. Yeah, that's actually all I have. Try protection prayer as well. Please remember to do that. To pray protection over yourself. And yes, Lisa, thank you for that advice. Coloring in as well. If you are somebody who does that, I highly suggest getting yourself coloring book and pencils and stuff, tapping into that in a child sense. I actually think that's it, and my battery's low, so I think this is a really good time to close it, make it abrupt. I also think that with the intensity of the karmic offset of what came in this reading, that there's lots of work that needs to be like kind of handed over to the powers that be in order for this karmic clearance to happen. You can expect, I did see the moon really briefly, you can expect that if you or someone else is lying, you can expect that lie or these lies or some misaligned behavior definitely will not continue any longer. If you are in a state where you find yourself living in a kind of lie, all my love to you. I understand the root of why someone would lie, and I get it. But you need to get ready for the truth to come out. Regardless of who you are and what state you're in, whether or not you are someone who lies, get ready for the truth. Thank you so, so much for being present in this reading. I feel like all I have left to say is just let everything take place. I'll see you in the next reading.